Come here, please.
Second, head back to your seat. I'll answer in a second. Will you grab the light, Shelby, please?
There was right here, Chica.
Okay. Grab the lights, please, Shelby. David, do you have headphones out? Do you have your headphones out? Okay, looks like you had it on the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the last section of notes we're going to do today. Standard form. Standard form looks like what?
AX plus BY equals C.
AX plus BY equals C. So, these, guys, are we done, or are you going to keep talking over me? Okay, so AX plus BY equals C. So standard form, what you will notice, if I look at 5, they are not going to give me something per something. We're not going to see a slope given to me. So we're not going to see something per something. You use this when the problem relates two different objects. So as we read this story problem, you are going to notice that it's going to tell you information about two different things. That's how you tell you're going to use standard form. It's not going to say it costs 15 cents per page or $2 per movie or whatever. You're not going to see that. What you're going to see, if I read 5, it says Sam ordered 2 tacos and 3 enchiladas for lunch at the restaurant. His bill came to $7.80. If enchiladas were $2 each, write and solve a linear equation to find the cost of each taco. So what you're going to notice is it's going to tell you information about two different things. It tells me information about tacos, and it tells me information about enchiladas. What you want to do first is you want to look for what they're asking for. What are they asking for?
The cost of each taco.
Cost of each taco. So that's going to be my variable. I'm going to let T be the price of a taco. So go ahead and label it. We're going to let T represent the price of a taco. I'm also dealing with enchiladas. So I'm going to let E be the price of an enchilada. So label your two variables. With this, it's especially useful because you want to see what each one represents. T, whatever they're asking for, is what the variable represents. If I want the cost of a taco, T is the price of a taco. And so the other one, which is the enchilada, E would be the price of an enchilada. Use common sense with these. So if I set up my equation, I want to write an equation to represent the total cost. So if I want to find the total cost, how do I find the total cost? If I know I bought 2 tacos, I take the number of tacos times what? No? I bought 2 tacos. If I want to find how much money it costs, I take 2 times how much each one costs. You know that. If each one costs $1, how much money did I spend? $2. If each one costs $3, how much money did I spend? $6. You know that. You take the number of tacos times the price. So 2 times T plus, how do I find the total amount of money I spent on the enchiladas?
270.
How do I represent the amount of money I spent on the enchiladas? Yes, you do. 3 times E. The number I bought, 3, times the price of each one, which is E. So if I want to find how much money I spent, I take 2 times the price of each taco, 2T, plus 3 times the price of each enchilada, 3E. There's your write an equation. That's your right part. Write an equation. Now we can take it one step further. What do they tell me the total bill was, the total cost was? So I could plug in 780 for that part. So 780 equals 2T plus 3E. That's the total amount of money I spent. So that would be your right part. The 780 equals 2T plus 3E. Now the solve part, they're going to tell you what to solve for. I want to solve my equation to find the total cost of the taco. So I want to solve this equation for what if I want to find the cost of the taco? T. What information do they tell me about E? E is the price of an enchilada. What information do they tell me about E? Read your story problem. $2. If the enchiladas were $2 each, well, E is the price of an enchilada. So I'm going to take $2 and plug it in where E is. Don't make this stuff harder than it is. It tells you where to plug it in. Enchiladas cost $2 a piece, so I'm going to take 2 and plug it in where E is. So 780 equals 2t. What's 3 times 2? 6. Solve this equation for t, which you know how to do. Who cares? You have decimals. Use a calculator. What do I do first? Subtract 6. Subtract 6. 780 minus 6. 1.8 equals 2t. Divide by 2. What's 1.8 divided by 2? 0.9. Now, what does that 0.9 represent if that is the price? 90 cents, like we talked about. So 90 cents per taco. That's a cent symbol. So look at what information they give you, and that's going to give you a hint. It's going to give you a hint where to plug it in at. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, let's go ahead and look at 7. If I look at 7, Karen's piggy bank has all dimes and quarters. The total value of the money in her piggy bank is $11.40. If Karen has 36 quarters, write and solve a linear equation to find the number of dimes she has. What are they asking for? Number of dimes. So D is going to represent the number of dimes. Whatever they're asking for is what your variable will represent. So D is equal to the number of dimes. What other thing? We're talking about two different things. We're talking about the number of dimes, and we're also talking about the number of quarters. So Q is the number of quarters. So look at what they're asking for. That will be your variable. Now let's use common sense to set up my equation. This is the right part, where we write an equation, and we'll solve it in a second, but I want to write an equation. If I want to write an equation, first of all, they tell you the total value. How much total money do I have between the dimes and quarters? $11.40. So $11.40. That is the total. So that is going to be equal to adding all the quarters together and adding all the dimes together. This is money. So how do I represent the total amount of money I have in dimes and quarters? Let's think about this. How do I represent the total amount of money if I have D number of dimes? I want to represent money. If I have 4 dimes, how much money do I have? 40 cents. If I have 6 dimes, how much money do I have? 60 cents. What do you do? Common sense. What do you do? If I know I have 6 dimes, I took 6 times what?
10.
6 times, not 10, 6 times, how much is each dime worth?
10 cents.
10 cents. So it's going to be 6 times,
10.
6 times 0.1, 0.10. So if I want to know how much money I have, you take 0.10 times the number of dimes. You know that in your head. You do it in your head. If I have 6 dimes, you take 6 times 0.10. So that will tell you how much money I have in my number of dimes. Plus, how do I represent how much money I have with my quarters? If I have 4 quarters, how much money do I have? $1. If I have 7 quarters, how much money do I have? How do you figure it out? You're doing it in your head. 0.25 times what? Q, the number of quarters. Use common sense. You're doing this in your head. We're just writing it out. If you knew you had 6 quarters, you took 6 times 0.25 in your head, $1.50. So we're writing it out. That's how we get the total amount of money. Any questions on writing the equation part? Now solving it. If I want to solve it, I want to find D. So I want to solve the equation for D. What do they tell me? What other information do they give me?
You have 36 words.
So where does 36 get plugged into?
Q.
Q, 0.25 Q. So if I want to find the number of dimes, I'm going to be able to solve the equation for D. And I said it, but I didn't do it. What gets plugged in for Q? 36. So plug 36 in for Q, because that's how many quarters. So they're going to tell you information, plug it in, and that will help you be able to solve for D. What do I do first?
Multiplication.
Okay, what's 0.25 times 36?
9.
9. So that becomes plus 9. Do not overthink it because there's decimals. What do I do first?
Subtract 9.
Subtract 9. Subtract 9.
52.4.
Yep, 1140. 11.40 minus 9. 2.4. $2.40 equals 0.10D. Divide by 0.10. So 2.4 divided by 0.10.
24.
24 what? Dimes. So use common sense. That's the biggest thing. You know, to get the total amount of money, I take 0.10 times the number of dimes. Okay, I'm going to have you stay in your seat because I want to make sure we can get done as much as possible in the next 15 minutes. Okay? So next 15 minutes, you can finish the homework assignment. So like I said, I only gave you 8 problems because I